All right. Hello, everybody. This is going to be the video for you to watch on Monday, October 24th, for the sub. Okay. So I'm going to walk you through what you're going to do for today. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I'm just going to share my whole screen. Hopefully, we'll see. Maybe not. Yeah, let's see there. I can share that. All right, so here's my screen. And the first thing you're going to do is, like always, when you come into the class, you will notice that there will be a discussion post. And here is the prompt for that discussion post. What strategies do you use when creating PowerPoints? What are some do's and do nots? Go ahead and respond to that. You can pause the video, or the substitute can pause the video and then go ahead and do that. After you do that, you'll notice below here, I have the 7.1 research guide. This is the work that you're going to spend the most time on. So I'm going to walk you through this. It says, submit this assignment by filling in the chart below with information about your element of culture as it relates to your cultural group. And then I have the chart right here. So I'm going to go ahead and copy all of this. I'm going to go ahead and pull it. I'm going to hold down my button, my mouse button, and grab all of that information just like this. Okay. And I'm not grabbing up until here. Then Control C. I grab it all. And I'm going to come down here and I'm going to put it in a Word document. I'm putting it in a Word document for a couple of reasons. For one, I think it's important that you have it somewhere that you're not working on it in Schoology. And then secondly, I think it's important because you're going to be creating a PowerPoint after this. So make sure you do this. So the first thing says, put your cultural group and group role here. So what is your cultural group? It could be Songhai, Mali, whatever it is, whatever your cultural group is. Like I told you all, I'm going to do this work by doing Ireland. And then my group role, if you remember, everybody has a role. I'm going to show you those right now. Here are the roles. All right, reporter, recorder, and graphic designer. I'm going to pretend that I'm the recorder. So for my role, I am going to pretend like I'm the recorder. So I'm going to put recorder right here. I'm going to just put Ireland / recorder. Oh my gosh. There we go. Put the name of your element of culture here. So we briefly talked about elements of culture. Most of you will remember that for reporter and recorder, your element of culture is traditions. Traditions. Like traditionally, people ate this type of food. Traditionally, people lived in these types of shelters. If you are doing graphic design, yours is art and literature. So for me, I am a recorder. Mine is traditions, and I'm just going to put a little dash there and put shelter so that I know what I'm talking about. Then below that, I'm going to put an image here. I don't know what image I'm putting yet, so I'm going to leave that blank. Then below here, it says 3 facts from that element of culture. So I know I need to find 3 facts about shelter related to Ireland. And what I'm doing is I'm using 1 direct quote for each one of these. So I'm just pulling 3 direct quotes. I'm not doing any work. I'm not writing anything on my own here. I'm just going to find 3 direct quotes related to shelter as it relates to Ireland. And then below here, oh my gosh. Did I misspell that? I'll fix that in a second. Below that, how did the environment around your cultural area impact your element of culture? So essentially what I'm asking there is, how did the environment around Ireland impact the shelters they live in? So I'm taking this idea and relating it to this idea. So how did the environment around Ireland impact the shelters they live in. That's what I'm trying to figure out. So connect these facts to the environment around your culture. Write a CER paragraph using the TLQC method for your evidence line. Use one of the direct quotes above for your evidence. So that's where you're going to do a lot of your work. So let's go ahead and get started with this. The first thing you can do, and I've already done it, but I'll show you how I Googled this. I just typed in ancient Irish culture. So you could type in ancient Songhai culture, ancient Mali culture, ancient Anasazi culture, ancient Powhatan culture, whatever your culture is, you type that in there and it should give you some resources for that. Along with that, just so you know, if you go into the content library, I still have all of those different resources available to the ones that we've done in class. So I have one for the English, the Ghana, the Mali, the Powhatan, the Pueblo, the Songhai, and the Spanish. So you have those resources available to you. However, Irish is not on there. So here's the one that I'm using. I'm just going to use this article for my work. I've already done a little bit with it. This is from the, it's from an encyclopedia website. Let's close that message. It's from World History Encyclopedia. And look here, it tells me who it's written by, Joshua J. Mark, right there. That's going to come into play here in a second. What I'm looking for, again, is shelter related to Ireland. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll through. I've already done the work, so I know where it is. And look what it says here, early human habitation. I know this word habitation might be unfamiliar to some of you, but I know that that word means shelter. So I know that I'm going to probably be looking in this section here. And if I go to this third paragraph, I'm going to go ahead and read a little bit of it. It says Mesolithic Ireland's inhabitants were hunter-gatherers who traveled in small bands from region to region, building villages of wooden huts with domed roofing of bark and animal skin. That's a great line related to shelter. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that line, Control C, and then I'm going to put it in my research guide that I have, not there, on my Word document. I'm going to put the quotation mark first, drop it in there, and you'll notice that the writing is a little off. If I click here and then this is like for keep text only, I can click that. And then look here, there's a period here at the end. I need to get rid of that period because I know I want to put that period after my citation. What is my citation again? It is Joshua J. Mark. So I'm going to go ahead and write that there. There we go. All right. And then I put my period after it. Now I need two more direct quotes from this article. So let's go back down. Here is where I left off. And like I said, I've already done the work. You might have to do a little bit of reading. I know it's not here, but if I keep going, I keep going, I have this paragraph here. Let's go ahead and read it. No, I'm sorry, this one right here. The wooden huts of the Mesolithic era gave way to houses made of wattle and daub with thatched roofs, such as the ones found in Ballinagilly, County Tyrone in 1969, a home that's considered the oldest in Britain or Ireland. That seems like a pretty cool line. A couple things I don't know about is this idea of wall and daub. I might want to go ahead and like Google that to figure out what that is so that I can do that for my work, but I'm not going to right now, and just know that I want to grab it because it is talking about shelter. So Control C, go over here, put my quotation marks, drop it in there, change it to only text, get rid of my period, and I'm going to do Joshua J. Mark again. Then, if I keep reading, check this out. Even more elaborate homes have been discovered from shortly after this date, including one in County Limerick at Tankardstown, built entirely of oak planking with corner posts and external roof supports, Barden 5. So this is like a quote inside a quote. So it's going to be kind of interesting for me But I like that idea. Barden, the person they're quoting here, is actually the most renowned historian for Irish history. So just a little background there. All right, so I'm going to grab that last one. I have my 3 quotes. What you'll notice is that I'm not trying to do too crazy work. I just wanted to grab 3 quotes related to shelter. All right, so there we have it. And even though it says Barden 5 here, I'm going to go ahead and do another quote and still do Joshua J. Mark. Ooh, there we go. All right. So there are my 3 quotes. I've done that part. Pretty easy. All right. And then this is where the hard work comes in. How did the environment around your cultural area impact your element of culture? I need to figure out which quote I'm going to use. I think the one that makes the most sense for me is this one right here. I like the idea of talking about the wooden huts with domed roofing of bark and animal skin as it relates to the hunter-gatherer culture in early Ireland. I think there's a really great line in here that relates to that. I'll show you it. So it says right here, from around 4000 BC, a dramatic transformation of the Irish economy began. Until then, a small scattered population had lived exclusively by foraging, trapping, and hunting. Now they began to clear the land of trees to create pastures. So I know when I'm thinking about that, I know that they're using a lot of wood at that time. So that's why I think this would be a good one for me to write my CER paragraph. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this one for that work. And I'm going to go down here and create my paragraph. Thinking of claim first. So where can I get the information to write my claim? Well, if I go back into my content library for Unit 2, you'll remember that I have CER, breaking down CER guidelines. So read the question, find a way to rephrase the question into a statement, add a by statement at the end, and after the by, add details that connect. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. So the question is, how did the environment around your cultural area impact your element of culture? I'm going to rephrase that question to match my work. So how did the environment around Ireland impact the shelter they live in? So I'm going to rephrase that. Here we go. So the environment around Ireland impacted the shelter they live in. And then remember, I have to add a by statement, by forcing them to use the materials around them to create their homes. Okay, so now I have my claim. Then I go back to my breaking down CER, return to the reading you were assigned about the subject, find a quote that supports your by statement, copy the whole quote, apply the TLQC method. Where can I find the TLQC method? In the content library, it's right here, adding evidence, TLQC method, transition, lead in, quote, citation. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that method using this transition. For example, I'm going to give a lead in for my quote. I'm going to use that first quote that I've already pulled, and then I've already done the citing work, so I'm going to go ahead and do that as well. So here we go. For example, comma, early Irish, I should say, early Irish people used lots of wood and animal skins available to them to build their homes. All right, you'll notice that my lead in right here is very similar to my quote. I don't care about that. I just want to make sure that I have some sort of lead in. then look, I already have my quote, I already have my citation, so I don't have anything else I need to do. It's just there for me. I'm gonna go ahead and drop it in there. And then I'm going to change it again to match the text. There we go. And then the last bit of CER is reasoning. I'm going to go back up here to breaking down CER. It says the last sentence can begin, this shows that, and then a because statement. This is where all your thinking work should be written down. Try to show how you connected the quote you pulled to the claim you made. Make sure you connect it to the by statement. So I'm going to go ahead and try to do that. I know my by statement is forcing them to use the materials around them to create homes. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to start with just the stuff that I said, and you don't have to, but I think it makes it easier. This shows that early Irish people were forced to use the animal skins from hunting and gathering and the, what was it, bark? Was it bark, I believe? Yeah, and the bark from trees they were foraging because they didn't have access to a lot of other materials. Could I do a better job with this? Probably, but I'm just showing you an example of this. But check out the work that I've done now. I've created a whole paragraph here about this, and I think it's a pretty decent paragraph. I have a direct quote. I have a pretty good TLQC line here. I have a pretty great claim. My reasoning could do a little bit better with it, but I'm going to leave it as it is. So that's what you're doing for the whatever you call it. I've lost myself. The research guide. All right. So that's what you're doing for the research guide. Once you're done with all that work, there's going to be a submission file up here. You could go ahead and submit that. This is going to be part of your summative grade that I will check on Tuesday. So make sure you submit this for that summative grade. What I'll be checking is to make sure you have all three of these, and then you have your paragraph below it. Okay, you could just copy and paste the whole thing in there, and then it'll be fine. All right. Then what could you do with this information? So you could go ahead and add this information to a blank PowerPoint presentation. So as you all know, the recorder is responsible for sharing the PowerPoint presentation with everybody. If you are the recorder, this is what you could do. All right. If you come up here, let me show you. Get out of my way. All right. Where's the share button? There it is. Over here in the corner is the share button. You can share this through with the folks in your group. You could share it through OneDrive. You could share it as well through email. I know there's going to be different options for you all on there, so you could just do that. Along with that, if you do not want to do it that way, you can have students, or I'm sorry, group members that are in your group just email you their slide and then go from there, however you want to do it. I'm going to show you how to create a pretty cool slide just to do it real quick. So I'm going to do a new slide with title and content. This is what you're going to be putting on your slide. All right. As you all know, I'm looking at the Irish group, and I'm looking at shelter. So if there's a title slide, I don't need to write Ireland on there, but I could. But I'm just going to write shelter they live in, something like that. I don't know. Why does that say that? Shelters. Okay, whatever. We'll just put shelter right there. All right. And then below here, I'm just going to drop my 3 quotes that I've already found. I'm going to drop all 3 of them. Okay. So let's just go ahead and drop them in there. Hopefully. All right. That's all I want you to have on your slide, is that information there. Okay. Along with that, We're going to go back here in a second. All right. You have that information there. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to get rid of the 2 and the 3. I don't think I need the 2 and the 3 there. There we go. I have those 3 quotes. So along with that, if you go back to your research guide, it says image here. This is to help you create your slide. It's not required. It's not something that I'm going to be checking when I check your research guide for completeness, but this is to help you create the PowerPoint. So what I would like is I would like you to find a picture that relates to shelter. And let's see if there's one on this website. I believe there was. Maybe there's not. Let's go back. Maybe. There we go. And go to images. Ancient Irish culture. Look at that picture. I love this picture right here. Let's go ahead and grab this picture. Nope. I'm going to go ahead and open image in new tab. All right. Hold on. Let's go ahead and go back. I know I'm not sharing it anymore. There we go. All right. So here's my image. I'm going to copy this image. All right. Maybe not copy. I'm going to save the image. Save image as, there's my kids. I'm going to go ahead and save them to that. To Humanities Weekly Emails. I'm going to check where I'm saving it. I got it there. Now I'm going to open that up. So Humanities Weekly Emails. There's the picture. Drop it in there. All right. And what you'll see happen is there's a bunch of like different options over here in the corner for me to use. All right. I can use any of these. Which one looks the best for me? I'm going to go ahead and say this one. I like this one a lot. There we go. So now I have my 3 pictures. I mean, my 3 quotes. I have my my image on it, and it looks kind of cool. All right. You can also click this thing up here that says design ideas. That will help you. It'll have different things that you could do. Okay. If you're like struggling with how to generate this, it'll have all different ones you can do. Okay. That's all you need to do. So once you do all that, you are done for the day. All right. The idea is that you have all of these combined. So you have one for shelter, you have one for food, you have one for art, and then you have everything ready for Tuesday. All right. On Tuesday, I'll give you a little bit of time to kind of wrap it up, and then we're going to go ahead and deliver these, and then we're going to move on into our next unit. All right. So what I'll be asking for you to say during this is you don't have to read the quotes. You just have to talk a little bit about how you saw shelter impacting the environment. One way you could do this, if you want to, is just by reading your CER paragraph. So if you want to do that, you can just read the CER paragraph to kind of talk a little bit about environment and culture. Or I'm sorry, yeah, environment and culture. Okay. So that's what you're doing today. That will be the work. So let me go over it again. Make sure you do discussion. Make sure you complete the research guide. And then once you are done with the research guide, you can start working on the PowerPoint, working with your group to combine that PowerPoint into one PowerPoint to be delivered on Tuesday. All right. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. Reach out to you can reach out to me on Talking Points or through email. I will be available tomorrow, or you could reach out to perhaps some of the other teachers out of the sub, and hopefully you can get some help. All right. I hope this helped you. If it did not, I apologize. I will see you all on Tuesday. Bye.